right, welcome back. Let's take a look at the regional dailies first before we come back and take a look at the local ones. We start off in Uganda. Daily Monitor. Crime takes over and they have serious concerns. The wails are echoing across Uganda, from robberies to house break-ins and even killings. The country is reeling under a wave of crime. It feels as though lawlessness is knocking at every door. What then is fueling these attacks, and have the security forces dropped the ball in curtailing them? And this reminds me of the latest where a university don was killed in her house and no one else was touched. She's the only one who was strangled to death and she was buried, I think, sometime this week. That story also features on the front page. UCU killing, suspect to appear in court tomorrow. So they've chronicled what has happened across March of last year and this year.
Yeah.
There was crime in November where 2 people were killed. Then it's like it's rising from November last year to the 11th of February this year. They've just chronicled a number of criminal and fatal crime events in Uganda, especially in Kampala. So that's the story on the main front page, and that suspect appearing in court tomorrow. And that's the Daily Monitor this morning.
All right, still in Uganda, let's take a look at the New Vision. New crime hotspots emerge in Kampala. Same story. Gangs terrorize residents. Over 200 suspects arrested so far. The latest one being that of Ugandan Christian University, right? Museveni vows to end cattle rustling in Acholi. Museveni once again makes it to the front page. For a very long time, he has been missing on the front page of the New Vision. Matters politics also given prominence here. Namuganza declares interest in speaker seat. She wants to replace or to unseat Among. Anita Among. Matters education as well. Best USE rather, schools per region. And of course, Money Expo, Heifer, International Terrain Goat Farmers. This is as far as Uganda is concerned. Tuvuke kule Bongo.
Tuanze na gazeti ya The Citizen kule Tanzania, EAC in ICU. This should affect even Kenyans as well because we are members of the East African community. There's a funding crisis that has laid bare integration cracks. The East African community, long celebrated as Africa's most ambitious regional integration project, is facing a credibility crisis that now strikes at its core. Its institutional core. They say the financial strain has even resulted in commercial banks struggling to recover loan installments from MPs whose incomes have stalled. So even MPs, including Winnie Odinga, who's a member of the East Africa Legislative Assembly, they have issues, they're not being paid. Yani hakuna pesa kabisa. No, they're working. The problem is, each member of the East African community is supposed to make a contribution to a common kitty that funds all these activities that are centered in Arusha. So some countries have been they've been delaying their contribution. Kenya had actually been among the countries that are the forefront, making sure they're at par, no arrears. But countries like Tanzania, which hosts the EAC in Arusha, were not paying up. So that's a problem. So now there's a funding crisis. Now, we move on. Anyway, that's the big story there. Another one, does talk signal shift from policy to action in SADC satellite plan. So this is the South African region. It has 8 years to secure its shared satellite in orbit or permanently lose the slot. So walipatiwa chance ya kukuwa na satellite, wakirega inapotea. How WhatsApp masterclasses open new income paths for graduates. There's a lot, even in Kenya, with the channels, WhatsApp channels, and WhatsApp groups, where if you join that group, wanafunzana too how to farm, what to do. I saw one on goat farming. I think I should go into
on WhatsApp?
Yes, WhatsApp group, goat farming peke yake. Interesting. That's a Citizen.
All right, tukisalia kule Bongo, gazeti la Mwananchi. Wasira, rushwa ni janga nchini. Wasira is makamu, deputy chairperson, CCM. Anasema rushwa ni janga nchini. Amenukuliwa hapa akisema rushwa ni tatizo kubwa na ni hasara. Kuna rushwa ndogo hospitalini na polisi. Pia kuna rushwa kubwa kama mtu kupewa zabuni ya kutengeneza barabara. Yeye anataka faida ya 10% na anayempa zabuni pia anataka 10%. What's happening in the country as well?
Yeah.
Corruption everywhere.
Corruption.
Mnyakuno au mnyukano radha wa shahidi na Lissu. Amkana Lissu kotini huku akielezea alivyopata matatizo polisi. Lissu amdodosa ushahidi wake na vicheko vya tawala. Oh wow, mnyukano wa shahidi na Lissu. So ushahidi wake amemkana kule kotini.
When a witness fails to cooperate. So unaleta shahidi kotini alafu anakugeuka.
Anakuruka. Oh yeah. Amani na usalama vyagonganisha vichwa vya marais ni habari nyingine katika ukurasa wa 3 wa gazeti hili, na waliosajiliwa bima afya kwa wote matibabu ndani ya siku 7. Hii ni habari tu kule Tanzania as far as regional dailies are concerned. Let's go specifics now. Let's come back to the country. We'll start off with the Standard. Snobbish Kanja. They call it cowardice. A political storm erupted at Jogo House after opposition leaders accused Inspector General Douglas Kanja of dodging a crucial security meeting, even as outrage mounted over the fatal shooting of a 28-year-old man during a rally in Kitengela. The leaders vowed weekly visits to police headquarters, demanding arrests over the Othaya church attack and accountability for what they termed rising police excesses. This story is on page 4 and 5. Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka has been quoted here. He says the spokesperson told us that they will send another invite. It's shocking that the IG and his team were not available for such an important meeting concerning the safety of Kenyans. DCP leader Rigathi Gachagua, it cannot be that police who are charged with maintaining law and order are the ones breaking the law. Guns bought using taxpayers' money cannot be turned against unarmed Kenyans. And the DAPK leader, Eugene Wamalwa, is also quoted here. He says, we believe these are orders from above. When we return here, we expect to have a full report and remedial measures to address the concerns. We expect none other than IG Kanja. Snobbish Kanja. On the inside pages, of course, they make mention of that killing in Kitengela. They say Kitengela rally death. Family cries for justice after young father shot. Ayomo, a husband and father of 1-year-old baby, was fatally shot in the face. His family says the mechanic was killed while walking home from work. So unfortunate. Condolences to the family. And of course, opposition fumes as IG Kanja snubs meeting. That's the story on page 4 and 5. Other quick headlines: snake bites spike amid drought crisis in Turkana. This story is on page 2. It says Turkana residents face heightened snake bites risks as drought drives snakes into homes and grazing areas. Delayed medical access and poor roads compound dangers, highlighting urgent humanitarian needs. From hope to Mamafua, a graduate woes. Wow. Jesang lives in squalid condition with her children after her brother kicked her out of home. She was enlisted in the police in 2014, only for the recruitment exercise to be cancelled. From hope to Mamafua, imagine. So you're a graduate, hakuna kazi, unaenda unakuwa Mamafua. Tukiangalia inside pages, James Orengo, man of all season in Kenya's ever-shifting political winds. We talked about him yesterday. Kasema the young spirit of James Orengo is being revived.
And Babu Owino and Edwin Sifuna.
Sifuna. The Sifuna factor is also mentioned on page 7. Moment or movement? Ask a question.
All right.
On the back page, Matter Sports, why Kenya must up their socks in Montevideo Sevens. And that's the Standard.
Right, it's the same story that features on the front page of the Standard that is also on the front page of the Daily Nation, in bed with goons, with the image of the police inspector general plastered there. I think it's the most prominent picture there. So this is the explanation. They talk about Khadija Riami, who will raise her baby without the father, Vincent Ayomo, who was killed on Sunday when police violently broke up the ODM rally in Kitengela. Death of the mechanic adds to rising casualties of the lethal police deployed against government critics. Police Chief Douglas Kanja yesterday skipped a meeting with opposition leaders who allege an unholy alliance between hooligans and state agents. That story is what features on pages 4 and 5. This meeting was supposed to discuss police action, especially after the Wetima attack, the church in Othaya. Then the police just decided they were not there. Sio lazima tukue. Alafu fine. That action, whatever happened in Wetima, what happened in Kitengela, and the fact that opposition leaders were stopped by police in various sections as they went to Nakuru. So that is what they wanted to discuss, and the police IG wasn't there. But the most unfortunate one is this 28-year-old who lost his life on Sunday as police broke up that ODM rally in one of the Daily Nation, options for Sifuna. Now they're talking about what next. Sawa, okay, fine. Sifa imekuja, kila mtu anaimba Sifuna.
Yeah.
So what happens from here? So that story is on page 8. A very interesting read. On the top strip, and this is a story on page 3, talks about a very interesting thing. This is a rare spiritual sync as Lent and Ramadan start on the same day.
Yes.
So tomorrow, both Muslims and Christians across the world will, for the very first time in decades, jointly begin a season of fasting, reflection, and introspection. For Christians, it will be Ash Wednesday. So they begin the 40-day period commemorating the 40 days that Jesus spent in the wilderness before starting his ministry. Meanwhile, the Muslims will be beginning the holy month of Ramadan upon the sighting of the new crescent moon, which is expected either this evening or tomorrow evening. So they're starting tomorrow. So for the very first time in decades, both Christians and Muslims begin very serious periods respectively.
So it's possible for Eastern Eid to fall.
Now you see, the one thing is that Ramadan goes for 30 days, but Lent is 40 days.
Yes.
So Lent will continue up until the mids of April. All right, or towards the end of April. No, actually, beginning of April.
Yes.
Because that's when Easter is. Easter is actually on Good Friday is on 5th of April. Yes, around that time.
Around that time.
Around that time. Yes. So yes, that's the main story on the back page. And this, for the first time, I think the Safari Rally is not going to coincide with Easter. So the back page is talking about the 2026 WRC Safari Rally. I saw some people arguing whether or not we'll be having the rally. But yes, Kenya is on the circuit. The Safari Rally will be there. It's part of the WRC circuit. The fabled competition will cover a cumulative distance of 842.9 kilometers over 3 days. Now, this will fall between 12th and 15th of March in Naivasha. It's about 2 weeks before Easter, so it's not going to coincide. So they're giving you a full list of entries of who will be taking part in this rally. And so the Safari Rally is coming up next month.
Vasha.
Rally drivers, Vasha. Mwende mukaone dust.
Vasha season.
The version of dust in Vasha. Nakuanga ni nyingi. Kuna ile dust ya Safari Rally na wale wataona dust.
Kitengela kando.
That's right. The Daily Nation.
Good Friday is actually on the 3rd of April. Just to clarify on that. Taifa Leo, mtihani mgumu wa Sifuna ni mstakabali. Katibu mkuu wa ODM atalazimika kuamua moja kati ya kubaki katika ODM, kuhama chama hicho na kupambana kisiasa kivyake, kushirikiana na mrengo wa Uhuru, yaani katika azimio la umoja au Jubilee, au kuungana na mrengo wa mmoja wa viongozi wa upinzani, Yoni Gachagua wa DCP au Kalonzo Musyoka wa Wiper. Ni habari katika ukurasa wa pili. Anasema seneta wa Nairobi ana maamuzi 4 ya kisiasa baada ya mambo yake ndani ya ODM kuyumba. Ramadan na Kwaresma za kipekee kuanza pamoja hapo kesho. Habari hiyo tumemzungumzia. Vidokezo zaidi, serikali sasa ya saka Mrusi aliyezuzua vipusa Kenya.
Waziri wa masuala ya kijinsia alizungumzia hayo jana. Anasema hawafai kumruhusu kufanya vile alivyofanya. Lakini mimi nashangaa atafutwe. Lakini makosa alifanya nini? Hakulazimisha mtu.
Consensual sex is not a problem. Lakini recording is a breach of privacy. The recording is a problem.
Bila kujua.
Yes, bila kujua. Hiyo ni violation of dignity as well.
It provokes a lot of discussion. Even, okay, fine, there's criminal elements in recording without consent. But there's also the social aspect of how our Kenyan women are and how receptive they are to foreigners as opposed to Kenyan men. Anyway, it's another discussion for another day. Let's not go.
I feel like they were just unlucky. Well, Nairobi is about survival.
It's only that they were recorded.
Anadaiwa kurekodi akiwavizia wanawake kimapenzi. Ni habari katika ukurasa wa 3 wa gazeti hili. Washirika wa Kalonzo wakosoa kauli ya Matiang'i, wachanachana kauli kuwa hatakubali mwafaka kuteua mwaniaji wa urais. Na UDA Pwani yadai upinzani shida ya ODM. Wakiongozwa na Omar wadai upinzani unadhamini uhasama katika ODM, ndipo wasishirikiane na UDA. Kule juu, masuala ya spoti, macho kwa Real na PSG, mechi za UEFA leo usiku. Madrid wana kibarua ugenini dhidi ya Benfica, huku PSG wakionana na Monaco. Gazeti la Taifa Leo.
Right, from that we go to the Star. Sifuna, once again. Sifuna Orengo team in high-stakes gamble. ODM rebels claim turmoil fueled by row over presidential race. So they talk about what has been dominating the headlines and the reason why this is happening. That story on page 6 of this paper. Other stories on the front page of the Star: women exploitation, the hidden cost of Kenya's coffee boom, matters coffee farming and how women are exploited in the coffee farms across the country. That's on page 3. And exploring the rise of same-sex relationships among Kenyan students. A very
disturbing story there.
A disturbing story on page 9 of this paper. Remember, today being Tuesday, the Star is not for sale. And it comes with a complimentary MyGov pullout for government tenders and job opportunities. There's also a big interview in this paper. The Waziri wa Kawi, Energy CS, Opiyo Wandayi, who's ruling out Siaya governor bid and vows to campaign for Ruto in 2027. That's a big interview on the Star. So grab yourself a copy of this one. It is for free today. Fresh, independent, different.
All right, People Daily: bribery claims rock parliament again. House of corruption is a question they ask on the front page. They say at the center of controversy are accusations that MPs have demanded or accepted bribes and extorted cash in exchange for influencing oversight hearings and investigations. Yes, the Senate na Parliament.
So hii imetokana na the Council of Governors, the latest complaint. They named four senators. I don't know what will happen next after that. Whether it's political wish hunt or there's a reality in this, I think we'll wait and see if at all the Speaker will take action.
Absolutely. Kulejo, why the fight for deputy president has intensified and what it means is a story on page 7. And Sifuna must turn populism into purpose before it backfires. That's the story on page 12.
And that will be making one of our discussions today. Like, okay, fine, after this popularity and kind of rallies that were held in Busia and Kitengela, the next rally is in Kakamega, and the kind of crowds that are being seen, okay, fine. How to convert that
to votes.
To votes or something else, or to a political movement. So going forward, sisi ndio Sifuna ndio, lakini what next?
What next?
We'll be discussing that. All right, Business Daily, and we do have a physical copy here. RBA, that's the Retirement Benefits Authority, to allow early pension access for household bills. Listen to this. Kenyans will be allowed to access a portion of their pension savings early for needs such as education, housing, and medical bills, and a fresh proposal aimed at encouraging the uptake of retirement products. You see, early retirement is at 50, then you have to wait until 60 to start accessing your benefits. But now they're saying they'll come up with a plan that you can access some of this money. Wengine wanasema pengine hata sitafikisha 60 years, but that's a good one. Part of the savings to be channeled into a separate account. Two-pot plan expected to encourage pension uptake. That's the main story there. The other story: CIC ex-boss loses sacking appeal over Imperial Bank deposits. The saga of the Imperial Bank that went under a few years ago, still making headlines. There are flight delays because on Itwaje, aviation workers have been on strike.
Yes,
and they have a picture there of travelers at the JKIA who were stranded due to flight delays after aviation workers caused the delays. And this is not just at JKIA, they are also at the airport in Mombasa and elsewhere. On the ticker, why Nedbank is paying a higher premium for NCBA. Nedbank is the South African bank that is buying NCBA Bank. They're still negotiating. You can read more on that. NSSF to cap investment in government debt. Government inaboro a lot from NSSF. So NSSF wamesema usijali because the worries are that government wakichukua pesa mingi from NSSF, what happens? Wamesema there will be a cap. Don't worry. So that's the Business Daily.
All right, let's take a look at the caricatures now. Start off with the